So last month, my roommate Jamie decided to get into the ancient art of fermentation after watching a 12-minute YouTube video and half an episode of the Great British Bake Off. She announced that our apartment would henceforth be a living ecosystem, which in practice meant she was leaving various jars with mysterious floating things all over the kitchen. I didn't think much of it until one morning. I stumbled bleary-eyed into the kitchen and saw Jamie whispering to a glass jar like she was consulting a particularly doughy oracle. I chalked it up to her usual weirdness and went back to my coffee. A week later, Jamie declared her kombucha experiment a failure because, in her words, the SCOBY looked at me funny. Instead, she turned her attention to sourdough. She mixed flour and water, gave it a name, for positive vibes, she said, and left it on the counter. This is where things started to get weird. The starter began to bubble ominously, and Jamie claimed it was more responsive than most of her exes. I didn't believe her until I heard what sounded suspiciously like giggling coming from the kitchen one night. Soon, the starter was demanding more than just flour and water. Jamie said it liked indie music, so she started playing playlists for it. She also insisted on calling it Bread Pit, and I swear, every time she said it, a fresh air bubble would pop in response, like it was laughing at its own pun. Our friends came over and asked why there was a tiny flannel shirt draped over a mason jar. Jamie shrugged and said, "He likes to feel cozy." Yesterday, Jamie came home beaming and announced she'd taught Bread Pit how to act, by which she meant she'd shaped the dough into a little bread man and made it star in a TikTok skit. As she pulled the finished loaf out of the oven, she grinned at me and said, "You know, I always wanted a breadwinner in the house, but this is just crummy."